Welcome back. Now, ladies and gentlemen, several studies over the years have established that social relationships are fundamental to the development of children. And the companionship, especially between children and pets, help develop emotional, behavioral, cognitive, educational, and social bonds. And the most favorable choice for pets world over has been dogs. But what happens when our children end up being a victim to dog bites? As per the alarming data furnished by the Union Minister of Fisheries, Animal Husbandry and Dairying, over 21.9 lakh dog bite cases were reported in 2024, which included 5 lakh child victims and 37 fatalities. Now, the issue was raised by Anubhava Srivastava Shahai, who accused the state governments of failing to control the stray dog population. She criticized the lack of effective sterilization programs and proper infrastructure to enforce animal birth control guidelines. Shahai also highlighted the shortage of animal shelters for aggressive dogs, further exacerbating the situation. She called for immediate action, urging that the Animal Welfare Board and all state governments be held accountable for ensuring the safety of citizens. The National Human Rights Commission has directed the Animal Welfare Board of Haryana to investigate dog bite incidents in the state and submit an action taken report. And to discuss this further, I'm joined by an esteemed panel of guests this evening. I'm joined by Sonali Chopra, who is an advocate at the Delhi High Court and also an animal rights activist. I'm also joined by Aditya Pratap, who is an advocate as well. Good evening to both of you. Thank you for taking out time and joining us over here. Now, Sonali, we have been consistently keeping a focus on the issues that concern people at large. It was just yesterday that we had information about a child being attacked by a pit bull in Sector 108 in Noida. And last week itself, we had another episode that was reported at Gaur City where a woman was attacked by stray dogs. Now, this has been a regular occurrence. Time and again, we have tried to highlight it, but the issue is that there are no corrective steps that has been taken. There's nobody in the state that really wakes up, smells the coffee, and really feels that this is an area of concern that needs immediate attention, because children are now becoming victim, as the data furnished by the minister shows.
So I agree. Despite being on the side of the dogs, I am in complete agreement with your point where you say that there is no action being taken by anybody. In my opinion, the only action that's being taken is by individual volunteers who form part of a community and try to do what they can within their limited means. But then we all know how they are treated also for being animal lovers or animal activists, however we can call it. But there is complete lack on part of the local authorities, as the rules call it, in taking any action, be it inoculation, be it sterilization, be it having just the regulatory committee in place. There's nothing. I've done my research, but nothing has come. So obviously there are lapses, and that is why these unfortunate incidents come to light.
So, Ms. Chopra, then what is the solution going forward? Because eventually it's the pet owners who are penalized if the dogs or their pets end up attacking anybody, especially children. Because this is startling data that we are putting out on our channels right now, where there has been a spate in the number of cases when it comes to dog bites, dog attacks. Many cases have turned out to be fatal after being chased. They do not know which way to go. What is the solution then? Since the state government does not end up acting, do you feel there is a need for pet owners now to take matters in their own hand, in the sense sensitization that is required?
So now there's two angles to this problem. One is our streeties population, which is not pets, and the other is the pet population. Insofar as the pets are concerned, it's 110% the owner's responsibility. I am a pet owner myself, and if my dog or my dogs were to do something, I take responsibility. I take responsibility for their training, for their general well-being, and for any other action that may affect anybody around me. For the streeties, now that is where the local authorities come in or local volunteers come in. So there are two angles. So we'll have to see whether are we talking about the pets or are we talking about the streeties.
Okay, Mr. Aditya Pratap, you've heard what Ms. Sonali Chopra had to say. Now, the issue concerning dog bites or dog attacks is a serious issue. The NHRC has also taken cognizance of it. The number itself is a startling number, and I would want to try and also refer to the fact that this year itself in January, the center has made it clear that they are not enforcing ban on ferocious dog breeds and have sought public input amid legal challenges where they feel that there is a need for stakeholders to be considered before any decision is arrived at. But in the interim, is there a need for the state government to take matters into their own hand, because municipal corporation often neglect the issue when it comes to stray dogs, when it comes to neutering them or ensuring that the ferocious dogs are kept away? Where is the infrastructure to ensure safety on roads, especially when it comes to these stray dogs?
Well, to begin, to begin with, as we know, a dog is a predatory animal. A dog is given to aggression. And as we can see from the footages which you are playing, people are being surrounded by packs of dogs and being attacked and injured. As you know, dog is a predator. It is a predatory animal, and they're trained to hunt in packs. Now, the point is, when dog is a dangerous animal, we have a spectrum of laws to deal with it. To begin with, let us begin with the very basic, the civil and criminal laws. We have the Bharatiya Nagarik Suraksha Sanhita, sections 152, we have section 162, we have section 163, where the magistrate has powers not only to remove a public nuisance, but also to issue urgent orders in cases of nuisance or apprehended danger. Dog is a dangerous animal, and we do not need the center to eat to. Of course, the center should ideally pass laws banning dangerous animals. Today, do you all know that when people we all talk German Shepherd, the Alsatians, and people are very fond of the German Shepherds. You know what is the full name of an Alsatian? The full name of a German Shepherd or an Alsatian is Alsatian Wolf Dog, because that breed was produced by half crossbreeding between a dog and a wolf. Now, these are the dogs you want people to keep as pets. So here is where even civil law comes in. We have the doctrine of strict liability and the doctrine of absolute liability. Rylance versus Fletcher, strict liability, the case. Then we have the oleum gas leak case, absolute liability. The thing is, if a dog owner gets a dangerous dog in his house and keeps it as a pet, then he will be absolutely liable if that pet either escapes his house or escapes his leash or goes berserk attacking people. That person will be liable penny for penny, pound for pound, for every damage or injury his pet dog causes. Second, we also now we in 2023, a new legal dynamic has been added, the Animal Birth Control Rules of 2023, in which certain provisions were implemented for so-called community dogs. Now, we have Rule 20 of the, because some of the video footages we saw, dogs attacking people in the housing complexes. We have Rule 20, which says feeding of community animals. And there the Animal Birth Control, these animal AWBI rules, they impose an obligation upon the residents' welfare associations to make necessary feeding areas for community dogs. And these feeding areas should be far away from the places which are used by children. They should be far away from play areas, etc. However, even today there are residents who violate these laws and do irresponsible feeding of these so-called stray dogs to pose harassment and danger to other residents. At the same time, another legal angle to this aspect is the law governing the municipal corporation. In Maharashtra, Maharashtra, we have two. We have the Mumbai Municipal Corporation
Yes.
Act and we have the Maharashtra Municipal Corporations Act for Pune, Nasik and other smaller cities. There also, statutory obligation is imposed on the concerned municipal authority to identify these dangerous dogs, pick them up and take them to shelters. Now, let me tell you, as you today you must have seen another related news report. The population of crows and pigeons has exponentially grown. Likewise, population of stray dogs has exponentially grown. Now, this suggestion of fine people will not like, but it is nature's law. The only rule which can control the population of an animal is the food chain. Today, when it comes to stray dogs, urban stray dogs, the food chain has been broken. They have no predators to feed upon them, which is why they attack the people. They become aggressive. They start hunting in packs. Rather, the central government and the AWBI should devise a policy. No matter how innocent a dog looks, it is meant to be food for a larger animal. But have a provision by which these dogs can be relocated to the national parks, where they can, become prey base for other carnivorous animals which are higher up in the food chain. So you need an integrated solution. Number one,
absolutely. Well, point taken, Mr. Pratap, point taken. Let us also go across to somebody who has been a former RWA president and also someone who has been a victim of a dog attack. I'm joined by Mr. Joginder Singh right now. Mr. Singh, good evening. Thank you for taking our time and joining us over here at Mirror Now. You did hear what Mr. Aditya Pratap was mentioning over here, that there has to be responsibility on the part of given RWA societies also, as much as it is a responsibility for the state government. Mr. Joginder Singh, what is your take on it? Where would accountability have to be fixed and when it comes to dog attacks, whether it's strays or it is for the pets?
अकाउंटेबिलिटी की बात मैडम कहूँ तो बेसिकली ये सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट की है, स्टेट गवर्नमेंट की है, जो म्युनिसिपल कॉर्पोरेशंस की उनकी है। बेसिकली क्या हो गया, हमारा जो संविधान है उसके अंदर बकायदा एक ही कानून है कि जो डॉग्स होंगे वो सिर्फ पेट होंगे और उनके अंदर भी जो खतरनाक डॉग हैं वो नहीं होंगे। और स्ट्रे डॉग तो के नाम की तो हमारे संविधान में कोई चीज है ही नहीं। क्या होता है, ये पॉलिटिकल लीडर जो से बिक जाते हैं, हमारे जज बिक जाते हैं, जुडिशरी बिक जाती है। मेरे हार्ड वर्ड हैं, मेरा रिक्वेस्ट है आपको इस टेलीकास्ट को जब आप टेलीकास्ट करेंगे इनको नहीं काटिएगा, क्योंकि समाज के अंदर अब हमको खुल के ये बातें बोलनी पड़ेंगी। और क्या है कि हमारी पार्लियामेंट के अंदर ने
जोगिंदर जी, हमें ये बताइए कि आपके साथ क्या हादसा हुआ था?
एक लाइन में खत्म कर रहा हूँ। एबीसी रूल 23 जो लाया गया वो इलीगली लाया गया, वो पार्लियामेंट से अप्रूव नहीं है। वो गवर्नमेंट ने एक रूल बनाया, दिस इज नॉट द लॉ, दिस इज द रूल। रूल को मैंने फाड़ दिया था, ये इलीगल है, हमारे कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन के खिलाफ है। हम और जितनी भी आरडब्ल्यू हैं या एओ हैं या जो भी बॉडी है, इनको मानने के लिए मना कर सकती है, क्योंकि ये रूल है। गवर्नमेंट ने एक रूल बना दिया है हेल्प के लिए, और किसी भी तरह से जो इसके कुछ दिन पहले नोएडा अथॉरिटी ने और डिप्टी स्टार ने भी एक नोटिस निकाल दिया था कि आप सोसाइटीज के अंदर या सेक्टर्स के अंदर आप स्ट्रे डॉग फीडिंग पॉइंट बनाएंगे, या आप जो उनसे हैं जो कुत्तों के जो पालतू कुत्ते हैं उनके मुंह के ऊपर आप जाली नहीं लगाएंगे। ये वो सारी बातें, जितनी भी इस तरह की बातें हैं, एओए आरडब्ल्यूए जितनी भी हैं, ये इंडिपेंडेंट बॉडी होती हैं, इनके पास पूरी पावर होती है और ये अपने हिसाब से कानून बना के फाइन कर सकते हैं। मैं खुद 3 साल आरडब्ल्यूए का प्रेसिडेंट रहा हूं और मैंने ये सारा कुछ किया है और मैंने लाखों रुपए फाइन लिया। हमारी सोसाइटी में 128 डॉग थे, वो 14 रह गए इस कारण, क्योंकि उनको जो लोग खाना बाहर डालते थे, हमारा कुत्ते बाहर जाके खाना खाते थे, वो बाहर चले गए हमारी सोसाइटी छोड़ के। विल चाहिए इसके लिए। अकाउंटेबिलिटी की बात करें तो अकाउंटेबिलिटी जो सी है इसके अंदर हमारे स्टेट एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन की है, सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट की है और पॉलिटिशियंस की है जो गलत रूल बना रहे हैं। मेन जो ये बात कहूंगा, जो सुप्रीम कोर्ट से भी इसके ऊपर बहुत सारी रूलिंग्स आ गई या ऑर्डर्स आ गए, वो कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन के खिलाफ।
पूछ रहे थे कि आपके साथ क्या हादसा हुआ था, आप कहाँ पे डॉग बाइट का शिकार हुए थे, उस इंसिडेंट के बारे में बताएं हमें ब्रीफली।
मैंने बचपन में मेरे को स्ट्रे डॉग ने काटा था। मैं उस टाइम फिर हॉस्पिटल में जब मैं ट्रीटमेंट के लिए गया तो वहां पे बाई चांस की बात है, उस हॉस्पिटल के अंदर दिल्ली में ही वो हॉस्पिटल है, आईडी अस्पताल उसको बोलते हैं, वहां पे एक सेल बना हुआ है जहाँ पे जो कुत्तों से काटे हुए को इलाज होता है। और उसको बेसिकली उसका नाम है डेथ सेल। वहां पे जिन लोगों को रेबीज हो जाती है वहां पे रख दिया जाता है, और जो कुछ भी है उनको थोड़ा बहुत दवाई वगैरह दी जाती है, लेकिन वो आदमी वहां पे इस ढंग से मरते हैं। वो सारी चीजें मैंने बचपन में वहां देखी थी। इस वजह से मैं ये मान के चलिए बचपन से ही इस मुहिम पे चल रहा था कि स्ट्रे डॉग को सड़कों पे खाना नहीं देना है, और पालतू कुत्ते भी ऐसे होने चाहिए जो छोटे कुत्ते हों जिनको आप कंट्रोल कर सकते हो। पालतू कुत्तों को हमेशा चैन बांध के रखिए। ये सारी चीजें अब ये जो अभी गाइडलाइन में आ रही हैं, इन सारी चीजों को, वही चीजें सारी मैं इनके ऊपर बचपन से काम कर रहा हूँ।
Okay, Ms. Sonali Chopra, you've heard what Aditya Pratap was also mentioning, and also Mr. Joginder Singh was mentioning over here. Do you feel there is a need for government to revisit the existing rules to ensure that there is a safe space to ensure that pets can be kept in these societies? We are not trying to propagate animal cruelty in any manner. Please don't mistake us that we are going to indulge in any sort of a fear psychosis. All that we are requesting over here is that can there be a mechanism, a formula way by which these episodes of dog attack can be minimalized, if not fully done away with?
Entire setup is there. It only needs to be implemented. If you go through the rules carefully, it provides for everything. What we are lacking at is the implementation. And when I say we, I don't only mean the government or the local authorities. I also mean the people who live day in and day out with these dogs outside their homes. If they are treated properly, if they are taken care of, there is absolutely no reason for these incidents to happen. Like Mr. Pratap said, that because they are hungry, they come after humans, is the analogy that he tried to give. Feed them a meal. They'll start liking you. They won't come after you. Or let the people who are feeding them feed them, get them vaccinated, get them sterilized, and that's the only solution. Sterilization, mass sterilization. And including
No.
no breeding of pets at home.
Disagree.
So there needs to be an end to breeding. There needs to be mass
There is also a need. There is also a need, like Punjab is doing it right now. After there are several cases of a dog attack that has surfaced, they are carrying out a census. They're carrying out a census of the canines in Punjab, of the stray dogs are concerned. Do you think there is a need for it to be replicated in the other states as well, so that there is a count, and then of course you can get to the infrastructure and perhaps chalk out a strategy, a way by which you can single out the ferocious ones, try to take care of them, put them into shelters, but there is a need for an infrastructure to equip the dog lovers or the pet owners to ensure that these rules can be implemented. Mr. Pratap.
Well, as I said, that one needs a proactive approach and an honest statutory approach on part of all authorities. To begin with, we have the Animal Welfare Board of India. Now, I was personally arguing a case for one of my clients, which was a housing society, in which Animal Welfare Board of India was a respondent. And let me tell you, rather than trying to, honestly arrive at a flank solution, Animal Welfare Board of India was only taking one-sided approach favoring the dog feeders, the few errant residents who feed dogs in the society. So this part on the part of AWBI has to change. Number two, as you know, the stray problem, it's an ongoing problem. Law provides potent. We needs, because just let me put a proposition here. Why can't the municipal department nominate a dedicated officer, a special task force, which would do a census of dogs all across the city, do a census ki which areas saw the most attacks, are reports being written or not? Understand not every dog attack might be registered by the police as an FIR, but at least a complaint can be registered so that the state machinery, for instance, the statutory officers, they can
Points
visit,
taken,
they can
Mr.
actually,
Pratap.
because
well, the government,
yes,
the state will have to take responsibility, whether it's a case of ordering a census when it comes to stray dogs, or for that matter ensuring that there are certain task force like you are mentioning over here to ensure that there is infrastructure and implementation so that the dogs and children, people at large, can coexist rather than trying to be able to live in fear, especially when they're stepping out in case of a stray dogs are concerned. I thank you for joining us over here, Sonali Chopra, Aditya Pratap and Joginder Singh, for taking our time and sharing your perspective on this issue that concerns almost everybody today. And with that, it's a wrap on this edition of the broadcast. Lots more lined up. Stay tuned and keep watching Mirror Enough for more news and updates.